Okay, so on this one, they're wanting us to solve an x squared equation. And all right, so let me put in the wall of separation here. We know the name of the game here. Basically, x is saying, hey, I want to be alone. I want to be alone. Get rid of this 2 power, get rid of this -7, get rid of this 8, so I can be alone. So how do we do that? Well, first step to get rid of that 2 power is the root. Roots are the opposites of 2 powers. So we do that. But don't forget, when you do that, you got to put plus or minus. Easy mistake to make. Don't forget about the plus or minus. And my dorky saying is when you put a roof on the house, you got to go up and down the ladder. When you put a root on both sides, you got to do plus or minus. Okay, so it cancels out here. And so we get 8x minus the right root. The root cancels the 2 power. They're the opposites of each other because a root is a 2-for-1 deal. There's 2x. This means 8x minus 7, 8x minus 7. There's 2 of them, right? Squared means 2 of them. 2 in, 1 out. No more root. All right, because it's out. And that's plus or minus square root of 64 is 8, isn't it? And there's no more root over there because when the root does its job, it vanishes. Square root of 64 is 8. Okay, so what does that mean? Now that means we have 2, that plus or minus right here. This is shorthand notation for 2 separate equations. So we need to write the 2 separate equations. First one is 8x minus 7 is plus 8. And then the second one is 8x minus 7 is minus 8, right? You see the plus here and then the minus there. We get the 2 separate versions that we have to write out. Okay, so now we just solve each of those separately. So let's come on in here and just go. Add 7 to both. Cancel. 8x is 15. Divide by 8. Boom. 15/8. Other side, add 7 to both. Boom. And down the 8x. 8x equals, what's that? -1. Divide by the 8. Boom. -1/8. So my 2 answers on this one are 15/8 and -1/8. So that's what we type in. So we would just literally just type in right here. Oops, I messed that up. So 15/8, comma, -1/8. That's what we would put in the blank. They want you to put a comma between the 2 answers, just like that. So remember, when you get a second power, you put the roof on the house, but you got to go up and down the ladder, plus or minus. Don't forget that. That the root is the opposite of a 2 power, cancels it. The square root of 64 is 8. And then you break it into 2 equations. That's what that plus or minus means, is shorthand notation for 2 separate equations. We break it into the 2 equations and then just solve for x in both cases. And there we go.